let's go ahead and paint y'all the picture. Back in 1949, this is Norma Paget. This is her version of the story. So back in 1949, her and her husband at the time was leaving the dance.
She evil, bro.
Evil. On their way home, their car started breaking down, and she say that 4 black men came out to help, but instead of helping, they beat the husband half to death and so-called beat on her, then essentially raped her. So she say, and also put a gun to her head. So she called out, great. Soon as Sheriff McCall heard what happened, she rang the alarm.
Evil ass white dude. I wouldn't be surprised if they're related some type of way.
Within the next day, mobs of white men, KKK, all that, formed.
1,000 men. 1,000 white men. 1,000.
Terrorized the town of Groveland, burning down houses, kicking in doors. Man, they don't even get into detail how many people that were actually hurt and lives was lost during this time.
But you could imagine the segregation going on.
So they was on a hunt for 4 men, for 4 black men. So they caught 3 of them. What their name was again?
They did not catch 1. They caught Charles Greenlee, they caught Samuel Shepard, and they caught Walter Irvin. The 4th one was Ernest Thomas.
26-year-old Ernest Thomas. Somehow when they tried to catch him, he was able to shake and bake and get up out of there. So he fled, you know what I'm saying?
Toward Georgia. So this Groveland's by Orlando, he made it almost to Georgia in Madison County.
So 1,000 white men, they got 1,000 white men together to hunt this man down, Ernest Thomas, for 10 days straight until they finally found this man sleeping under a cypress tree in Madison County in Florida. So when they found this man, these 1,000 white men up fire and shot this man 400 times and put this man to death. 400 shots put this man to death. So they pretty much already executed him, and it was considered a justifiable homicide. So that's why nothing happened to the men for killing him. So during this time, these 10 days, you got these 3 other guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They're in the jail being tortured. Now you got mobs of white men coming to the jail telling the sheriff, you better let these young men out. We're gonna lynch them. Terrorizing the county because they want to literally kill these men. They don't even want them to go to trial or nothing. Now the whole time, the doctor done did a physical on Norma Paget lying ass. That was never
permissible in court.
It was straight BS, but guess what? They hid all this information. Yeah. They end up finding these 3 dudes guilty because they beat them into coercion. They forced them to tell on themselves for something they never did.
They didn't have a chance in hell because you even had these white dudes outside the prison, outside the jail, like, hey, send them out so we can lynch them. But the dude inside was like, nah, we ain't gonna send him out. We're gonna give him a so-called fair trial and we're gonna put him in the chair and kill him. So you had Charles Greenlee, the 16-year-old. He's a kid getting beat to death.
He legally couldn't catch the death penalty because he was a juvenile. They gave him life in prison.
And then you had Samuel Shepard, Walter Irvin. Both of them was actually 22 at the time, and they got sentenced with no evidence. Even with the doctor saying there's no great evidence at all, which they didn't allow that in court, got sentenced to the death penalty. Sentenced to death. So they got shipped up the road. You know how it goes, shipped up the road. Then in 1951, Thurgood Marshall and the NCAA and the U.S. Supreme Court all got involved.
And overturned the case.
And said no.
They were going to have a retrial. Well, this racist behind Sheriff McCall, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he was related to Norma. This how evil he is. When he's so frustrated that they're finna have a retrial, he got Samuel Shepard and Walter Irvin handcuffed, and he's taking them back to prison.
Somehow he was able to go pick them up himself and transport them back, which usually was supposed to get put on the bus or something, but he was able to pull enough strings because he was...
It's also 1951 though. This was different time for when we was incarcerated.
Yeah. And then, but if you look into Sheriff McCall, he pretty much came out and said he ran that town. He had pulls with the court system.
This man had 49 civil lawsuits against him and won every single one because he was like this with the governor of Florida.
At that time, whoever that guy
So
was.
imagine how the governor was at this time.
Come on, man. So he went himself. Him and Deputy Yates went there himself to go pick up who was again Walter Irvin and Sheriff Shepard.
Yep.
Was like, all right, it's 1951. Y'all got a retrial. Get in the back of the police car. So as they leave and they take them, they get like whatever they get into back to the other jailhouse to go get the whatever retrial. He told both men, get out the car.
They're handcuffed together.
But they handcuffed together, so they stuck together. Soon as he told them to get out the car, before Buddy's feet could hit the ground, before Samuel Shepard's feet could hit the ground, he put a shot right in his head. Boom! Blowed him.
One to the forehead.
Blowed him.
2 more in the chest.
Dropped him ASAP.
Hit Walter Irvin.
Irvin tried to escape, but he
can't run. He handcuffed
to Buddy, so he can't pull lifeless body.
They shoot him twice. Boom, boom. He calls Yates, another officer. Hey, I killed him. Come back. When Yates gets there, he tells them, let's rip their clothes up and make it look like they were trying to escape.
But Yates kicked both of the bodies to make sure they was actually dead. But when he kicked Walter Irvin, he told dog, hey, this one ain't even dead.
So this man comes back over there and shoots him in the throat.
From the back, on the floor like this. He on the floor, shot him from the back of his neck through the front.
Guess what though? Walter Irvin is a gangster, man. You can't kill this man. That man is invincible for real.
It wasn't his time to die.
This man survived, went to the hospital. Third girl, good marshals involved. Guess what? He gets the FBI involved because Walter Irvin tells him everything. Hey, they made it look like we staged an escape, ripped our clothes. This what happened. Shot him in the forehead. He told us to get out the car.
Yeah, so Irvin told the whole thing.
Guess what? The FBI knows all of this. Went back and said if Walter Irvin's telling the truth, the bullet that he shot him in the neck with would have to be in the ground.
Okay, he was laying down face first in the dirt, plain dead. So when he got shot, the bullet went through the neck, right into the dirt underneath him. So go ahead.
The FBI took a little shovel and started digging and found a .38 caliber bullet that matched guess whose pistol?
Sheriff McCall.
Sheriff McCall.
So all that was put on blast. You faked it and you cold-blooded murdered this man, but they put it in the box. Go ahead, finish.
It's mind-blowing, bro, because they had all this evidence. It's BS. The sheriff should have been arrested with murder and attempted murder on these 2 dudes, right?
Yep.
But guess what? The FBI never gave them. When they went back to retrial, they found
Him now.
Walter guilty because Samuel obviously couldn't go back to trial.
Was dead. Found him guilty, sentenced him to death again. While that whole murder and attempted murder was all sealed up in the FBI box, tucked away. Like it never happened. And it sat there for how long it sat there?
60. It finally became public. I guess it's a law in Florida where wherever you have a case, it can only be withheld for 60 years and then it's public information.
Yeah. And it was so bad at that time. You had people trying to speak out against the Groveland and what happened, but you had a dude that was part of the NCAACP was trying to speak out. It got so bad that they bombed this man's house and him and his wife died in the bomb and telling everybody, listen, shut the hell up. Whatever happened, just happened. Let sleeping dogs lie, and that's that. Because they covering up for Sheriff McCall. They covering up for Norma Paget and
Yates.
Ernest Thomas already got killed in cold blood. They walked on that. Samuel Shepard got killed in cold blood. Fake escape. Walked on that. Attempted murder on Walter Irvin. Come on, man. 16-year-old caught life in prison. And they just kept it all quiet.
And not including all the other people that got hurt and the houses being burnt down.
That's not being
a mob of 1,000 white people just going crazy, just killing a bunch of innocent people, trying to do their own investigation, even the ones that ain't the police. And half of them were KKK.
Yeah.
Like, tinted up in they fucking sheets.
And all these years go by, so, like I say, Ernest Thomas died. Charles Greenlee was 16. He actually did 13 years and got out after 13 years, like in 1962, and he actually died of natural causes, weighing like, what, 2012.
Yeah.
Samuel Shepard, he got gunned down in cold blood. Walter Irvin did like either 18, 19, or 20 years. He got out the year later, died after a heart attack. And now, a couple years back, not right now, a couple years back, after 70-something years, the state of Florida finally opened up this box. Read all the information about the doctor that said, hey, listen, she was never great. Read information about the Walter Irvin and his story and how, okay, that is true, but it did try to kill him. How all this stuff was false and fake, and all the state of Florida had to say was
sorry.
Apologize.
Sorry, that's all you got to say. These people need land, sovereign land that you can never take from a family, that you can never tax for. They need some type of reparations. Like, we're talking about millions of millions of millions of millions of dollars. We're not talking about a couple $100,000. We're not talking about $1, $2, $3 million. They need hundreds of millions of dollars because the state of Florida prosecuted these young men.
And how many lives, how many families they ruined by burning down houses. And this lady, Norma Paget, she told her story one time in court, what happened, and she stayed quiet for over 7 years and came back out again after knowing all the truth, and she know the truth as well. Came out again back in like 2021 and told the same story. What she said again? That, oh, they did it.
She basically said, if y'all exonerate them and find them not guilty, y'all are just as guilty as the ones that raped me. And there's the evidence that it never happened. The FBI, in the case that they come out 60 years later, when they did their investigation, had the paperwork that her husband was really physically abusing her. And what happened was, when they walked up to help, they were asking her, like, are you straight? And she panicked because she didn't want her husband to go to prison, so she screamed, grape.
And these black men did. This is back in 1949.
And they just literally... Man, so be careful who you help, man. That's a crazy message.
So we ain't try to tell y'all this story to try to cite no racism, like oh, racist this, racist that. We trying to let y'all see how fucked up the justice system is and always been. You got so many cases like this, even the ones that have been brought up, and it goes on non-stop. This lady, all evidence points at this lady, Norma Paget. You're lying on these men. You cost these men their lives, and you're still walking free. How? Why? Fuck her apology. Money, lock this bitch up. Care how old she is, lock her up.
For life.
For life.
She gotta do life. She got these people killed, man. She done started some BS that it was false. You falsely accused them, one, and created a riot yourself. You created this.
It's terrible. And Sheriff McCall, he was able to just be a terror forever.
Samuel Shepard's first cousin went to the court date when they exonerated the city of Florida voted. They exonerated him, right? She went, and when she spoke, she brought up something that was in the paper a few years back. Norma Paget, evil racist ass, her niece, wrote an article in the newspaper, bruh, saying that it is my family's tradition to keep this a secret and never let the truth out. An article that was published in the newspaper. His first cousin was a professor at a community college. It's a university now. She's retired. She's retired now because the time that went past. But brought up the article and let her know your own family member said, y'all, as a tradition, is keeping this as a secret.
Oh, we forgot this piece of evidence they had. When the so-called grape took place, two of the men that so-called grape there wasn't even in town. They was in Altamont Springs at the time, which is close to Orlando. Another one of the guys who was so-called grape there was in jail in another county.
It was BS, man. We all know it was BS. The whole city of Florida know it was BS.
Big time. Big time. And all this Ben came out. Why didn't you Ben just free these men and say, hey, but something to do with Sheriff McCall and his evil ass just wanted to kill him. He was trying to take them all out by himself. He was one of the ones that was screaming outside the jail, hey, let's just lynch him. Let's just lynch these guys. Get over with. You don't even know these guys guilty of nothing yet.
I'm going to tell you some real stuff, man. I know I ain't been in the county jail in over 10 years, right? Did my prison bid, been out almost 5 years now. This is still going on to this day.
Of course.
I am considered literally a career criminal, right? I got a whole bunch of violent crimes, so it's FV. I'm some habitual violent. If I get jammed back up, it's a wrap. They gonna bury me under the prison. HPVO. If I get jammed back up for another violent charge, it's a wrap. It don't care. It don't matter how small the violence might be. Just fighting, they might try to bury me under there, right? So listen to what I'm telling you now. For the sentence that I caught, there's young black man that been in trouble one time and would come into county jail and catch twice as much time as I caught. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm an eyewitness to this now. The judicial system is messed up.
This is no cap. This is all.
I know it's an old story, but it's still going on. Don't forget, we're in the South now. This is Florida now.
This is real shit. I had my attorney at that time was Scott Mitchell. I was charged for armed robbery. He had 2 clients on the same court date. The other client was a white guy. We were both going in to pretty much plea out. Same charges. No cap. The white guy said, "What you looking at, bro?" I told him, "I'm on the 10-20 life law, so I gotta go take what I'm gonna go take." He said, "Damn, they offered me 3." And we had the same exact charge. I said, "Damn, they put you on the 10-20 life law?"
This isn't unheard. What judge did you have?
Hang 'em high Hilly.
I had Judge Daniels. So I had an armed robbery. My second time was a home invasion. So another white dude home invasion first time. Majority of people's catching 10 or better for this charge.
Easily.
He catch 4. Black dude came in and caught 15.
Home invasion, you get slapped for that.
And the white dude been doing crimes, like been getting locked up. I think it was the first time going to prison though, but he been had charges already, been to the P farm, did a year in county. Black dude first time, 15.
Systemic racism, man. Systemic racism at its finest, but we can't even compare what happened to us, whatever, even to what happened.
Nah.
We're not trying
we
to
just letting you know it's still going on
to a certain effect, non-stop.
This is,
and the justice system is fucked up, been fucked up. That's why we do what we do, talk what we talk about, to open your eyes up. Bro, we don't have a chance in there, so we're trying to lower recidivism, you know what I'm saying? Even when we get in there, we don't have a chance of really changing ourselves. The whole system is just built to make us worse, to fuck us up mentally, and make us feel like this is the way of life we trapped in. You know what I'm saying?
And there is literally, we did a video on the experiment. It's the prison experiment for college kids, and they came out with a theory after this called labeling, because of this prison experiment went so crazy that they had to shut the experiment down. So when you label people a convicted felon, they automatically, if they're not trained to go against the grain and really like go 10 toes down to grind and change themselves, that label really deters people. Their confidence levels drop. They feel like they have to be a part of this group because they're labeled as this group.
Be sometime get that. But we ain't finna keep carrying on. But this is a story about the Groveland Four. These guys didn't get a chance to lower recidivism. They were just hung in cold blood. They don't got a book out, but some guy actually wrote a book called, what is it called?
Devil in the Grove.
So if you're interested for more facts, more details, it's actually a great book. It's a great
book.
Spoke
at their exoneration too.
He spoke.
He's raw. He's raw.
I get into details. Get into way more details if you're interested in the story. Netflix need to pick this up, and you know what I'm saying? This is a real sad one.
Stay tuned, man. The message is always gonna be lower recidivism.
Yeah, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Question I got is, Norma Paget, she how old she is? She old as hell right now.
But do she deserve to be locked up in life?
Right now.
For life.
For life. Old life, bitch.